up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Anime on Draft. This is episode 157. I'm your host this week, Drew, joined by Alec and Rolando. Say hello,
Hey.
gents.
Hello,
Hello,
gents.
Hello,
Jinx,
gents.
you owe me a truly.
Ha!
Well, it just so happens that we're truly boys this week.
Wow.
So some thirsty
Yes.
boys drinking some big Trulies, all different flavors. So we'll be talking about those in just a little bit. So make sure you grab one. But in the meantime,
If
we
you
got a
are
lot to
legally
talk about.
age.
That's
Yes,
right.
that is correct.
We got a lot to talk about this week. We've got our Orishiri segment, episode 9 of both Penguin Drum and Shinsekai Yori. We have a huge lineup to talk about for the summer 2020 anime, and so we're going to be doing a lot of previews and kind of an overview of the shows that'll be coming out. So look forward to that. And then we wanted to wrap this episode up with the season finale of Kaguya-sama episode or season 2. So, like I said, got a lot going on here. Just to kind of start us off, I guess, like I mentioned, we are drinking Trulies. I myself have a grapefruit edition. Alec, I think you're drinking a what is it? Pineapple. And what do you got, Rolando, over there?
Pineapple?
Oh, sorry. I have
someone-
mango.
Someone got debated. Someone
I got
debated
both.
me.
I got mango.
Well, you might need two because they are refreshing and easy to drink. So,
I grabbed one of each.
there you go. There you go. So like I said, crack those open, have a sip, and let's get into it. So we're going to start by talking about some Penguin Drum. Roll the beautiful music.
Oh, yeah. That is perfect.
All right, so you guys will have to bear with me because we did have to delay the show a little bit to a Wednesday, and I watched this all the way back on a Saturday. So I'm going to try to make sense of these notes. But anytime I start talking crazy, just somebody keep me honest. But this was
I
the
watched it today. So
there you go. So this is the episode of flashbacks, and even the episode starts off, and when the episode first started, I was like trying to remember, I was like, this has happened before. And I'm like, oh yeah, this totally did happen before. So if you guys didn't catch it, we jump all the way back to when Himari and the bros went to the aquarium.
at the very start.
And we kind of get the perspective this time. Instead of the brothers, we get Himari's perspective and kind of what happens to her. So she, runs out of the gift shop, and that's kind of where we last see her. And then the next time we see her, she's like laying on the floor. But here we kind of figure out what happens to her. She finds her little penguin buddy and follows her to the deep, dark abyss of this library. So it seems like the library has chosen Himari by fate, kind of another play on the fate theme that we keep seeing going on. But you boys, what do we think this library represents? It's a big metaphor for something. What are we thinking about this one?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to kind of mention that I was really confused at the beginning of this episode because I haven't seen this in like 10 years.
10 years.
And I think what really confused me was the fact that Penguin number 3 had the number 3 on her already.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that was a continuity thing or I just don't remember. Yeah. But go ahead, Alec.
So I was just saying, for me, the only thing I was kind of thinking of whenever I see libraries like this in this sort of setting, I always think of it as some sort of metaphor for like inside the person's mind. And then especially when they started kind of going through all the books and it was her memories from when she was a child and all those sorts of things, I was just thinking, like, the thoughts that came into my head was like being in the library almost felt like she's in a coma or in some sort of like sleep state or something. And then reviewing all the memories was like life flashing before you die, before your eyes, before you die. And so I was like, I don't know exactly what's going on. But then she woke up, so maybe it was what she was seeing when she was dead that whole time. And then they gave her the hat. That's what I was thinking.
It's kind of like this purgatory state, right? You know, she's technically dead, but she kind of gets an out, and that's how she kind of progresses, at least forward from there. This was a good catch, Rolando. I thought that I was being trolled by this too, because I'm like a big Stephen King fan. But she's talking to the librarian. She's holding books to return. One of them is Christine, which is a Stephen King novel, and then, you know, by Stephen Queen, so kind of a nod to Stephen King there. Oh, you put that?
Yeah,
Sorry.
put that in.
No, for sure. The kind of cool thing about Christine as well is it's a book about a car that like basically murders people, and her brother just got fucking isekai'd by a truck.
Yeah.
So
I also found it kind of interesting because one of the characters in the book gets like taken over by the previous owner. Essentially, he starts becoming the other owner, and it's kind of funny. Whenever she puts the hat on, she becomes someone else. So.
Yep.
I don't know if it was just a little throwback to the author, or if it's actually like trying to connect those dots.
I can definitely see the connection. It's cool if it's true. If it's just kind of there, then, you know, maybe we're grasping. But I don't know. I thought that was super cool. So we kind of get into the library. We go in flashbacks within flashbacks at this point. We meet the librarian, who is named.
Oh, sorry.
From Utena, the nod to Ikuhara, but Sanetoshi, he's there to kind of guide Himari, all the while just kind of dropping hints as to like what's going on. But like you said, Alex, he's picking out books equal memories, and I don't know, does the ending make sense to you a little bit more, Alec, with the formation of Triple H and those idols?
Excuse me. Like the formation of. What do you mean? Like Double H and the.
So like the ending song has all three, Himari and the other two girls, and then like when we go on the train and stuff, we see, you know, just the two girls. So you're kind of like thinking like, ooh, what's going?
Yeah.
Is your brother screaming USA?
I don't know why he's screaming.
It kind of sounds like USA, USA.
The door is closed, so it's like so loud.
Oh, shit. He's really going at FIFA there.
He's going pretty hard. I apologize for that. So yeah, you have like the two idols on the train, and you kind of like see the fallout between like what happened with the girls and stuff. So it's like it should hopefully start making a little bit more sense to you.
Well, I don't know like, what happened. I know that it seems like something happened, but I was wondering kind of like, because they just kept saying that was the last day I went to school, that was the last day we were friends, and they had, when she turned around after the eraser was like chucked at her, they were looking at her like sad but like disappointed, like she fucked up or something. And I was like, what the fuck happened? Did I miss something, or am I supposed to feel that way?
I think it's related to the whole thing that happens before that.
With the koi fish?
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in just a second. But before that, we kind of learned the tragic fate of Himari's mother. It seems like this family's kind of a little bit cursed. She throws a temper tantrum about not having a ribbon, and her mom ends up in the hospital. Yeah. So
a big old mirror fall on her.
This leads into kind of what Rolando was talking about in terms of like what happens after that. So like they talk about the myth where fresh koi blood will kind of rejuvenate, give you, you know, expanded life, things like that. So they try to murder this koi. And from there, it's kind of like everything else happens after that. So it's like their fates kind of get bound, but not really, because the two girls obviously become successful idols, where Himari is destined to be, you know, sick and in the hospital. It also kind of separates the group too, because the two girls are kind of divided to like, oh, I take the blame, no, I take the blame, and they kind of put Himari off on the side, which is like understandable too, because I mean her mom just got put in the hospital because of her. And then it all kind of leads to the final culmination of we get Double H instead of Triple H. So kind of more insight into Himari, but I think the most important thing that happens in here is what Sanetoshi mentions right at the very end, is that Himari is actually the bride of fate. And so we kind of get that bomb dropped on us right at the end as she's like getting spirited away back to reality or whatever you want to think
And
about
then
it.
it was almost like he was about to say something, and she's like, "Shh, no."
Shh. Bad touch.
Yep, no
Bad
touch.
touch.
No touch, Akio. Uncle Bad touch.
What do we think about what her fate is ending up being? I mean, he mentioned that she's destined to find her groom. Is that the penguin drum? Is that what we're looking for? You know, what do we think is going to happen next based on kind of like this little hint that we get from this ending scene of the library?
I honestly don't really.
It's a loaded
know.
question.
It's a loaded question. Like
I can't know.
I don't know the answer. It's like I can speculate, and they keep saying, you know, you're the bride of fate, and I was like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Like I had a bunch of questions like, what's the bride of fate? Why is she the bride of fate? Who is fate? And I just keep thinking like, is he just saying like you're destined to die, and that's her fate? But I don't think it's that simple. There's probably more to it that I'm missing here, but it was kind of a loaded episode, to be honest, and I think it's one of those ones where if I went back and rewatched it, I would get a lot more out of it than just the first watch.
Well, it's a big turning point for the show, right? You know, before we're kind of following Ringo and her crazy shenanigans, and then all of a sudden we kind of rewind and say like, oh, all this other stuff is like kind of going on in the background at the same time. So it is definitely a big turning point for the show, and I think from here on out, it's going to kind of get a lot more interesting, at least from what I can remember for it. Rolando, I think you have this next point, but before we get to that, anything you wanted to add before we get to our last little segment for Penguin Drum?
Penguin Drum.
Like we've got like all of these flashbacks and everything, but part of me is kind of like, yeah, they're showing the sequence of what happens to Himari when they go to the aquarium before she dies the first time. And the fact that she wakes up and like it's a dream and it's the current present time period makes me more inclined to think that this was a dream that is playing back everything that happened. And so there's like this like odd sense of time, especially like they definitely didn't just put number 3, penguin number 3 in there with number 3 already on there like as a mistake. Like that can't be a mistake that they would have made. Otherwise it's just very sloppy,
very bad mistake.
So I think we knowing this and like seeing how she wakes up at the end, we definitely know that this might just be like her sort of awakening, like from this sort of state of like, we think she's this oblivious character, but she actually knows a lot more than what we thought before.
Maybe she's hiding something.
Maybe.
Kind of leads back to the question. It kind of leads back to the question I had. You know, what is actually happening to Himari during all of this, and we don't really know. It's like we can make these assumptions. We can think, you know, it's back, you know, what we were originally thinking, you know, to the start of the show. But maybe it's just like she's dreaming it, and you know, wakes up and is back to normal. There's too many things going on to like let you think it's one versus the other. So there's definitely good thoughts that you all are having about that.
I noticed in this episode, it was the cooler. So the penguin goes in the cooler with a book. Question I had, what book is that? I don't know. I don't think we're going to know yet. And then another question I had was the sticker on the side. It said Penguin Force, and it looked like an image of the black penguin, and then it peeled off, and it looked like the regular penguins. And so that made me wonder, like, what the fuck is going on as well.
Yeah, Otter Soya.
Otter Soya. God, I love that. The last thing, the apple, the fruit of fate, the apple that keeps showing up. Ringo's an apple. We got a lot of that same kind of imagery going on. So yeah, good eyes on everything there, guys. And I think we'll keep working through these episodes, because there's definitely lots to digest. Before we get into Shinsekai Yori, though, Rolando, did you want to kind of go into the symbolism of the frog?
Yeah, so they kind of like went in, or they didn't really exactly go into this, but we do know that the book that Himari is looking for is Kaeru-kun Saves Tokyo, and the significance of this kind of has to do with like how the word for frog sounds like the verb like to return in Japanese, and so the word is kaeru, and a lot of like Japanese people think that frogs are lucky because of like this not onomatopoeia, what's it, the homonym, right? That is same sounding word.
Yeah.
Because it's like the same sounding word, but they mean different things. And so the fact that frogs are like this kind of like omen for good luck, it's like the idea is where like a frog is a symbol of like things to be returned, whether that's like monetary or maybe like goodwill. You know, it's like this idea that if you keep frogs around you, like things will return to you. And so that is kind of like this, there's like this underlying motif of like people wanting things back throughout this show. Like they want things to either A, return to the way they used to be, like in Ringo's case. They want things back, things returned to them. Himari in Shoma and Kanba's case. And then in Shoma and Kanba's case, they want their parents to come back as well. There's just like a lot of these things that people want to return to them. And so I thought it's interesting that this is what Himari is looking for. And a lot of the books had to do with like the frog, and like for at least in her case, this episode, it's like, does she want to return back to how things were with her true friends, the two people in Double H, and like a return back to before her mother got hurt for her sake. And so I think it's interesting that the book she's looking for is Kaeru-kun Saves Tokyo, because I don't want to spoil anything, but there is something that does relate to that shows up later on. And the other thing with frogs is that in a lot of cultures, frogs are seen as like an omen for rain, because they show up a lot during spring and summer when it's rainy. And so the idea is like, if you see a frog, it's probably going to rain, or it is raining. And so we do see that in the current situation. So when Himari wakes up, we've got Shoma's in an accident. It's like raining. Like what will come of this? Like what will this significance be, especially with now that knowing that Ringo's like the fruit of fate and you know, this other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Really cool to bring that stuff up, because you know, it's a lot of times as a non-native speaker, it's hard to pick up on a lot of those things. So having you bring those up is super insightful. So
yeah,
definitely appreciative. That's right. Good work. Strong zero work.
Ooh, strong zero work.
Anything else you guys want to add for Penguin Drum?
I'm really enjoying it.
All right.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool show, for sure. Let's get into Shinsekai Yori then. Again, watching episode 9 in our Orishiri segments, rewatching old anime shows. Another kind of really interesting show. I'll start it off, I guess, just with some of my notes here. It seemed weird to me that, you know, in the past, like when some of the school children would go missing or would disappear, they just kind of like nonchalantly, there they go. So, and they don't really mention them. They don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem that way with, Right. And it doesn't seem like that's happening with Shun, because it's like, they easily forgot all the other kids, and now they're like they're going ham. They're like, we got to find him, like what happened with him. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Um, it ends up they go exploring, getting into more trouble. I thought and I kind of mentioned this, but it's like they have the conversation between all four of them, and they go like, I think we're probably being watched. And then they immediately like go and do the things like that they're not supposed to do. I just thought that was like kind of like awkward. It's like, we should be careful. I think we're being watched. And then they go and like break through the new holy barrier that's constructed around like the village where Shun's from.
No fucks given.
They literally go into like the most forbidden place of the old school. Like they like float over there where they're like harboring these cat demon things. And it's just like, if you guys are having this premonition, maybe you should be a little bit more sneaky about it and not just like hanging out and be like, hey, let's go look for him. So I thought that was kind of awkward.
Yeah.
The cool thing that I liked about this episode is Saki kind of gets a little bit more insight and starts remembering like what's happened with her family. And so like she's still remembering Shun even though he's disappeared. And then she starts to remember, I think was it her sister or her brother? I think it was her sister. She's starting to remember like they were around and now they're not. And the whole naming convention for their family, like she's the youngest daughter, or the youngest child. So it's like there is something going on that the adults aren't telling, and things that we've been talking about this whole time. The one thing I wanted to ask about is when Maria comes over to talk to Saki about what she discovered, essentially, when she appears like in the mirror, her shadow or the window, her shadow is like totally fucked up. Like she looks like a demon. Mm-hmm. Did anyone else notice that? Am I just like overthinking things here? What I always go back to is like what the narrator said at the very beginning. It's like Maria like should have never been born, and so it's like, is she like on the inside? Is she like a spy? Is she a demon? What's kind of going on with that? So that was something I had a question about. Did anyone have any? I don't know. Am I on the right track, Rolando? is it just like a coincidence? You don't have to spoil it for me. Just kind of wondering.
Freaky as fuck.
I haven't gotten, or I didn't actually see to the part of this series where it would confirm or deny anything. So
sure,
I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
No worries. We do kind of get confirmation though from the teachers that Shun is perhaps turning into that karmic demon that we learned about in previous episodes. And they're using those tainted cats to kind of bring him down. Interesting too that we talked about this last week, but Shun kind of knew that the cats were like working or being controlled by the adults. So to have the foresight to give the other kids the charms to protect themselves against that, pretty big deal there as well. So that's kind of a synapse of it. I don't know if anyone else had anything else to add. I did like how the tainted cats looked like they were wearing high heels. I thought that was interesting. But other than that, anything anyone else wants to kind of add?
Alec, what'd you think of kind of like, I guess the way to put it is like, what do you think about kind of how everyone is treating this? Because you brought up the whole idea of there are these kids and people are not noticing them when they're disappearing, but when it comes to this guy, like everyone's taking notice. So like what do you think about like how this situation is different from the rest of them
than the other kids?
Yeah.
Though I was thinking they're acting differently because of what Maria says the teacher says, which is like he had so much promise, and so everyone kind of took note of this kid, whereas the other kid, it was just like he was some shithead who manipulated the ball or the other person's little the driver or whatever. But in Shun's case, it's like they even said like he had a lot of friends in his village. Everyone thought that the strongest dude of all of them would train him. and what was it? And that he had a lot of promise. So I think in this case, it's just like the caliber of the person is very different. And everyone kind of looked up to him to be like the next leader, and to see him go down is kind of like, you know, I don't know. It for me, I guess if I put myself in their shoes, it would feel like what's wrong with our society if the best of us is like getting taken, then, you know, what are we, or what's going to happen to us? And it would kind of make me feel that way. I don't know.
I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that, but I can also see Shun doing something to manipulate all the kids into like remembering him, because he is like that powerful of a user of his Kantus or whatever. So I can see that, like your point for sure. But I could also see him, you know, maybe by giving Saki that artifact, it's like, oh, that's using, he can use that to like, oh, remember me by it or something, or he's projecting something into their minds that says, okay, don't forget about me or whatever. I could kind of see that happening too, but obviously we don't know. So
yeah,
maybe
couple
he
theories.
gave everyone something. He gave her the necklace. He gave what's his name? You know, a little something something in parting.
Oh god.
They're just monkeys, man.
Yeah,
They're
just
bonobos.
Bonobos with
Just
magic
bonobos
powers.
With magic, they're bonobos with mind powers.
That's right. Anything else to add, guys? Kind of like a transition episode. I think we're gonna get a little bit more action kind of going forward. You know, Saki kind of confronts the demon cat right as the episode ends, so we'll see kind of where that leads, I guess.
I'm really looking forward to another episode like the one where they met the Minoshiro, the whatever, where we kind of got a whole bunch of information, because
we need like a knowledge dump.
This show, man, it's like theory, and then they throw out more stuff, and it doesn't negate the theories you have. It just increases the number that you have, and then you're like, well, can you just tell me what's right, please? Which I guess is good, because that's probably how the kids feel. Like, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe it's this.
I think this is a good show because it kind of leads you on like that. Although I think I prefer a show like Promise Neverland, where it's like you got a couple knowledge dumps like in the beginning, and then you like kind of get everything, and then the show progresses like how they're going to like beat the evil or whatever. This, we still have no idea. Like the kids could be evil for all we know.
Right,
you know, who knows?
They could be actually bonobos. And it's just all
that everyone is actually just perceiving them as humans.
As humans. Yeah. They're actually
they're
using
just bonobos.
Their mind power using bonobos, making humans think they're human.
Wow.
Yeah.
It could be. We don't know. So I agree with you, Al. We need another knowledge dump. We need to figure out what the heck's going on here.
For it.
Yeah. So that's our Orashiri. Again, we watch old shows and we talk about them. And if you'd like to watch with us, we will be on episode 10 of both Penguin Drum and Shinsekai Yori next week. So look forward to that. Without further ado, though, we have some beverages. Normally, if you're new to the podcast, we drink craft beer. But this week we decided to break off from the normal branch, and we are drinking hard seltzer. That's right. We got some Trulies this week. So hard seltzer, 5% alcohol, extremely refreshing. If you were here a few weeks ago, we drank a Strong Zero, and it is a very similar thing to that, but just tone down the alcohol a little bit.
By half.
Yeah, like 4%.
A lot bit. But I don't know that there's too much to talk about. It's bubbly and refreshing. It has a hint of whatever flavor that you got. So mine is very grapefruity, but I don't know. It's a very refreshing summertime beverage, I would say.
How does that compare to the grapefruit Strong Zero?
The grapefruit Strong Zero is, I think, the flavor was a little bit better, I would say. And this is all going back from memory because it's been, a couple of years. I think the grapefruit flavor was a little bit better. But this is, I would say, more drinkable just because it's less potent.
If you chug it, you're not like, whoa.
Not messed
That's
up.
right.
Yeah, not messed
That's
up.
right. So you guys got a couple other flavors if you want to kind of expand a little bit on what you got. Maybe Roland, do you want to go first?
Sure. I actually haven't had any of these before, and it's very easy to drink. The flavor is very subtle. In this case, the pineapple just kind of tastes a little bit like pineapple. And I think the carbonation helps that because it's very effervescent. It's not like the mouthfeel itself is like super in your face, but it does kind of help,
Like
like,
drinking soda.
yeah, like give you like this bigger impression of a flavor being there compared to if it was flat. I think this would taste absolutely terrible flat. But
Sure.
You don't want to drink it flat or hot. That is like
Yeah.
a mistake.
These have
so,
to be
so
cold, like fresh out of the refrigerator.
and not like super cold. Like they're okay if like like getting a little bit lukewarm, but you don't want like bought it from the store on a shelf, not a refrigerator,
and then just crack
go
it
right
open.
at it.
Yeah.
And then you
Would-
just
would
go
not
at
be
it.
good.
No.
No, these are. I've never had a hard seltzer before, and these are great summertime beers. I'm thinking about it like by a pool, in a lake, not like in the lake, but like you're on a boat, you drink it, you jump in the water, you come back out. Really, anything that has to do with a hot day, these would be excellent. Hanging out with the bros or the broettes.
And they're low carb, 100
They
calories.
are 100 calories and 0 sugar, I believe, is why.
Correct. Yeah.
It's got. Oh, sorry, no, 1
No.
gram of sugar.
3 grams carbs, 1 gram sugar.
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mine is
has-
200 calories. Oh, that's because there's 2 servings in this.
oh,
Yeah,
have a
you got the big boy one.
I had the big
I
one.
got like the skinny tall.
Sorry, I'm looking at
guy.
this. It's 1 gram of sugar, and then never mind. That includes 1 gram added sugar. So yeah, it's not too bad for you. I mean, it's not great for you, but it's not bad.
You're still drinking alcohol. But
Oh, it's it's less added sugars than in a soda.
Yeah,
that's right.
if you're of age, get one of these instead of sodas.
Yeah, don't drink
Not at
any
work,
Four
though.
Locos or anything like that.
I don't know. Do we even rate these? I mean, it's
I don't know.
I mean,
It's good. I'd buy it again.
it's
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 just
a
one of
good.
those-
It's like Alex said. It's a good summertime drink. Crushable. Good for a party.
It
Easy to
doesn't
drink.
Get people too messed up. If you're
Yeah.
like, hey, come over, but I don't want people getting all crazy. You just get some of these. It does make me want to try the other ones. Like there's the Bud Light Seltzer and White Claws and the Corona one. I kind of want to try
I've had-
them.
I've had White Claw and I like Truly better.
Okay. I've heard
It's
White
it's
Claw's
like really
not bad.
subtle though. Like the flavor difference isn't huge. So
Everyone says
I've had
Bud
the
Light
other
is great.
one. What's the one that's not White Claw and not Truly? There's another one.
High Noon. That's vodka soda.
Hard.
I think I've had the one that at
seltzer.
least that's like vodka soda ish,
That's High Noon. I know that one is
maybe.
essentially just vodka
Barefoot.
soda.
It might be Barefoot. I think I've had that.
There's Smirnoff
No.
or Bon V.
No.
On B,
Maybe
it might be
Barefoot.
Henry's. Vive, H2 Roads,
Either way,
Beaches.
this is okay. I think
Oh, Henry's. I bet you've had Henry's.
maybe.
Henry's.
I think this definitely detracts from what you're looking for in when you have something like a strong zero. Is with a strong zero, it's like, like it kind of tastes like fruit, but you get fucked up,
Get wasted
and
a
very
nice
easily.
buzz.
yeah, this one it's like, okay, I guess I'm sessioning, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's like an alcoholic seltzer water. I guess that's why it's called hard seltzer.
That's
Now I'm just-
exactly what
Well,
it is.
and for at least for us in the States, too, it's going to be ease of accessibility as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not finding Strong Zero at a 7-Eleven here, whereas you can find it truly pretty much anywhere. So
Yeah, I think they
get
would
it.
definitely not allow them to bring in for sale 9% alcohol in a can.
for a dollar,
Yeah, well, it would
Although
definitely
they're
be
starting
super
to sell
expensive.
Chardonnay in cans, so
classy,
there's that.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's enjoy these summer beverages while we talk about a quick news break.
Who's Blake?
Couple things to talk about here. Well, we're going to have to drink now because I'm about to say the magic word. Violet Evergarden.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We miss you, Mark. He'll be back next week. The Violet Evergarden movie will be opening in Japan on 9/18, according to our anime. So reddit.com/r/anime. Kind of exciting news. It seems like most stuff is opening back up in Japan, so they're going to be able to enjoy it in theaters. So that'll be pretty cool. Next set of news, discover your favorite series this summer on Funimation. So a big list of Funimation only shows. We'll be talking about several of them in our next segment. To name a few, Fire Force Season 2,
That's
The
also
Millionaire
on Crunchyroll,
Detective, which is
yeah.
a carryover from last season, No Guns Life Season 2. This is a show that I'm going to talk about a little bit, Super H Zeros. Look forward to that explanation in a little bit, and several others. So make sure you check out Funimation if you want to watch some summer anime.
That's false
And then-
advertising from them. Fire Force is also going to have its season 2 on Crunchyroll.
Oh, well, that article was not correct then.
It's in there. It's in
Um,
Crunchyroll's article, but
They tried. Anyway, Cyberpunk 2077 anime announced. I saw this one on Reddit as well. Studio Trigger is going to produce it. It will be coming to Netflix in 2020 with a 10-episode run. So
2022.
hopefully the game gets
2022?
released by then. With all the delays that there have been, kind of holding my breath for that one. But we may get aliens, I guess, because Studio Trigger, right?
Aliens.
Oh, wait, and I thought you were talking about in real life.
Well, both.
Oh, Studio Trigger's gonna bring us aliens.
That's all right.
Awesome.
I like
Looking
that
forward.
smile. You're like,
Nice.
Wow. Studio triggered
That's all right.
by aliens.
All right. All right, guys. Let's then kind of switch gears and talk about the summer 2020 anime that are going to be premiering starting as soon as this week. So I guess we'll go just like down the list. I'll do one. Alec, who's after me? Rolando, you do one. Alec, do one, and then we'll just kind of zigzag back and forth from there. So I'll go ahead and get started. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about the show, give you a brief summary, talk about the studio, notable voice actors, if any, give an opinion, and then also mention the airing date. So we're going to kind of rapid fire through this. So the first show that I have is ReZero Season 2. The summary that I'm going to give is we're going through a second season of suffering with Basaru. So prepare for death and reincarnation and all that fun stuff.
More death.
That's right.
More death.
And also I Love Amelia, so be ready for that as well. The studio is White Fox. Some notable VAs, Takahashi Rei. She is also known for doing roles such as Mega Man, Hime from Kakashi Goto, and quite a few others. We got Kobayashi Yushie, who is Senku from Dr. Stone, Arthur from Fire Force, and then Minase Inori, Hestia from Hestia, and Itsuki from Quince. So some obviously notable VAs, but we kind of expect that from the show, high budget show that we've talked about before. So opinions, very good. If you've seen season 1, you either love it or you hate it. There's a lot going on with this show. I'm kind of like, I'm on the fence with it because it's like, it's kind of enjoyable, but it's also like a huge, like, the main character is not very good.
Not at all.
And so it's hard to kind of like him, but I think the world and overall storytelling is like decent. So it's kind of like in the middle for me. If you're looking forward to it though, it will air on July 8th. So pretty soon. I know Alex looking forward to it.
I am, yeah. I want more. It's
I
been
only
tough
finished watching the first season because you said to finish it, Alec.
Yeah, it got better. It was
They
absolutely
fought that
rough.
whale, dude.
Yeah, they fought the whale. It was really rough. I liked the ending. I know a lot of people didn't, and it didn't really justify the rest of the anime, but I liked the ending, and the middle, just forget about it. Just
Suffering.
don't
Suffering.
worry about
That's
it.
I
all it is.
understand what everyone that says, well, you have to understand he's insufferable because of what he's experiencing, but it's like I can still hate the character.
Yeah. Yeah, you
It's
can.
fair.
I can understand why he's that way, but I can still hate him.
Yep. It's fair.
Yeah.
He's a lot for sure. So Rolando, you have our next show. Why don't you get into it?
Yes, we
Here
have
on my left here.
season 3 of Rom-com Snafu, Yahari Ori no Seishun Rabukome wa Machigatteiru Kan. So the synopsis is the 3rd season. As members of the service club band together to host a school prom. Wow, they have prom over there.
Oh God.
Hachiman, Yukino, and Yui will have to put their feelings into words, and truly learn to understand each other at long last. Dot.
God.
Oh,
If the
it's gonna be
service
so
club
beautiful.
can even stay afloat, that is. Wow, Sentai Filmworks, what a great explanation right there. I'm gonna post the trail. Are you okay, dude?
Yep, just
Too much truly.
Too much truly. Yeah.
Truly outrageous, huh? I'm gonna post the trailer link in chat if you wanna see the trailer. My opinion of the show is, if you were a fan of seasons 1 and 2, you're probably gonna watch this one.
Mm-hmm.
If you were
What if
not a
I'm
fan,
not a fan, but have watched seasons 1 and 2?
then I mean you're probably not gonna watch it. Like,
I think I have to watch it.
show?
Season
that's
2
totally up
is
to
so
you.
bad.
But
Snafu.
the studio is Studio Feel. They did Hinamatsuri and the first 2 seasons of this show. And the notable VAs are Takuya Eguchi as Hikigaya Hachiman. Sorry, I'm just flipping the fucking name order around.
Wow.
Saori Hayami as Yukino Yukinoshita, and Nao Toyama as Yui Yuigahama. There's 12 episodes and it starts July 10th.
Oh.
Alec,
turn? Oh.
what's the first show you got on the docket?
I got Fire Force season 2. So second season of Fire Force. The synopsis on this one was just Company 8 figured out the evangelist goal. And then what's his name? The main dude, he learns more about his past from Shinra. That's it, from the captain. And now they're trying to look for more of what's going on and kind of stop shit that's bad. This one, you can find the official trailer on YouTube. It's super dope. I recommend watching it. Studio is
cool.
David Production. My opinion is I loved the first one, so this one's going to be excellent. I'm really looking forward to this second season. And then episode 1 airs July 3rd, I believe what it is. And then I also looked, it's available on Crunchyroll, VRV, Anime Lab, and Funimation. So.
Wow, what a live Funimation. Yeah. It's available on almost every streaming platform.
You know, they're just trying to make a come up. They're like, oh God, we have like no viewers. Let's just say it's only available here so people will come watch it on and get a subscription with us.
Not
very sneaky.
Not gonna lie, Alec, when you were starting to talk about the synopsis, I thought you were gonna say the synopsis, there's fire, and then just stop.
And a force. There's forceful fire.
The world on fire. Ah!
Yeah. No, not quite that.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I know I'm looking forward to it. So, a show that we talked about on the podcast as well. So, looking forward to that one. The next show I have is The God of High School. Mark was talking about this one. I think it's based on a manhwa.
Yeah.
It is.
The summary is they are trying to find the best high school fighter in all of Korea, and so it sounds like one big tournament arc.
Nice. Everyone loves the tournament arc.
It's Studio Mappa. There's a lot of newer VAs that are jumping into this one, which is kind of exciting. And then one that you may find familiar is Ohashi Ayaka. She's Saya from Bang Dream and Uzuki from Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. That was the one notable VA for this show. But like I said, a lot of newer ones kind of joining the party here. Opinion, it looks like a typical kind of like shonen tournament arc show, but I'm probably going to give it 3 because Mappa. And the preview looks somewhat interesting. But it looks like a bunch of fighting and battles and all that kind of stuff. So if you're into that, check it out. It airs on July 6th. Rolando, next show.
Are you okay there, Alec?
You can only hear out of one ear. He's dying.
Oh,
it's actually weird. It's on both my
That's
headphones.
weird.
Anyways.
All right. Next up, we've got Decadence. So this is one that we talked about being released in a previous episode on the news, but the synopsis is many years have passed since humanity was driven to the brink of extinction by the sudden emergence of the unknown life forms, Gadal, Those humans that survived now dwell in a 3,000 meter high mobile fortress.
A little bit of mobile game.
Mobius Fortress.
Decadence, mobile fortress Decadence, built to protect themselves from the Gadol threat.
Is it mobile
Denizens
or mobile?
of Decadence fall into two categories: gears, aka warriors who fight the Gadol daily, and tankers, those without the skills to fight. One day, Natsume, a tanker girl who dreams of becoming a gear, meets Surly Kaburagi, an armor repairman of Decadence. This chance meeting between the seemingly two opposites, the girl with a positive attitude who never gives up on her dreams, and the realist who has given up on his, will eventually shake the future course of this world. And that's from Funimation. Wow. Can you believe
Beautiful.
that, guys? That sounds
Decadence.
exactly like almost every other fucking show that's like this.
Decadence.
So here's the trailer in
Decadence.
chat if you want to see it. My opinion is it looks like Listeners in animation style and I guess in tone as well as just every
watch
other
it.
mecha show. You know, just quirky.
Is it
And
Mappa?
to be honest, it doesn't look good in my opinion, but I mean, I'll give it a couple of episodes. We'll see.
Is it Studio Mappa?
No, it is Studio Nut.
Nut.
That is a capital N-U-T is how they
Turn
spell
that
it.
off.
They did Yojo Senki and Fooly Cooly Alternative, which this does look
Fooly
like
Cooly.
Fooly Cooly as well. Notable VAs are Tomori Kusunoki, aka Tomoriru. She's playing Natsume. She played Yuki Setsuna from Love Live Nijigaku and Tamao Tomoe from Revue Starlight Relive. And then we've got Katsuyuki Konishi as Kaburagi. He is known as the Jonathan Joestar from JoJo. This is an unknown episode length, starts July 8th.
Cool. Alec,
Right.
next one.
This is Peter Grill to Kenja no Jikan. This one is ecchi / comedy. The synopsis is main guy, Peter Grill, he's the strongest man in the world. He has a girlfriend though, and he swore to spend his whole life with her, but a whole bunch of women show up and want to make babies with him because they want to have strong babies. That's the synopsis. The way I watched the trailer, it's extremely ecchi. In the trailer were just tons of god rays, god dots, hair coverings, subtitles covering. It's very, very ecchi. The studio is Wolfsbane. And I don't know, it just looks like a typical really ecchi comedy show, with lots of boobs showing and hot springs and fan service. So my opinion is will not be watching it, but it just does not like it. They looked like they were trying to have comedy moments, but nothing really seemed funny to me. I was just sort of like, eh. Anyways,
Yeah, but boobs.
But boobs, yeah.
Yeah,
there you go.
boobs.
If you liked, what is it, Interspecies Reviewer for the great content that it was, you may also like this one.
This is hentai.
This is hentai and it's art. Episode 1 of 12 airs on July 10th, and I don't know where you can watch it. It was not listed on AnyChart, so
Probably ATX.
probably.
The late night anime block that allows this kind of
Allows
stuff
That.
in Japan.
rays and ecchi.
Yeah.
All right. Next one I got is Mao Gakuin no Fuki Kigiyosha. This show really kind of reminds me of a worse kind of idea and version of The Devil is a Part-Timer. Essentially, a demon king gets bored, so he decides to like kill himself, and then he gets reincarnated 2,000 years later and enters a school where they pick the next reincarnation of the demon king. And he's totally aware of this. However, the school thinks he's like this idiot, like outcast, and label him as an outsider. So he has to prove his worth in order to retake his throne as the Demon King. The studio is Silverlink. Notable VAs, the Demon King is Suzuki Tatsuhisa, who is Makoto from Free. You may also know him as Kyo from Blendes, the kind of surly, one of the surly kind of chef guys. I think, in my opinion, I think this show could be okay. Like I said, it reminds me of A Devil is a Part-Timer a little bit. I think I'll give it the 3 episodes, but it's probably going to be like this weird combination of like slice of life school, high school life, but also add in supernatural demon lord elements. So yeah, airs July 4th.
Ooh, July 4th.
I'm going to turn on a light in my room. So give me 1 second.
Sure. While you do that,
go ahead for Rolando.
So my next one is another ecchi show. It is Monster Musume no Oisha-san. So the synopsis is, in the town of Lindworm, where monsters and humans coexist, Dr. Glenn runs an exemplary medical clinic for monster girls with his Lamia assistant, Safi. Whether receiving a marriage proposal by a centaur...
I'm sorry.
Safi.
What type of monster is she?
Lamia.
Oh, never mind. I thought you said something else.
No, not the other.
Not the word that you're thinking of.
Anyways.
Whether receiving a marriage proposal by a centaur injured in battle, palpating the injury of a mermaid, or suturing the delicate wounds of a flesh golem, Dr. Glenn performs his job with grace and confidence.
Wow.
But when an unsavory character seeks to steal a harpy egg, how will the unflappable Dr. Glenn respond? Ellipses ? That's from Seven Seas Entertainment. Here's the link if you want it. It's basically there was a Monster Musume before. It doesn't look. I looked and it doesn't look like it's the same author, but it's probably like a spin-off, I'm gonna guess. I don't know. My opinion is I mean, if you liked the original Mon Musu and you took that and put it in Venice, like old school Venice, like, you know, just
like Venice,
I guess you'll like this, but I don't think I'm gonna watch this one. The studio is Arvo Animation. They did Bokuben, or We Never Learn. And then the notable VAs are Saori Onishi as Safi. She was Ais Wallenstein in Danmachi, and she was Doppel in the original Monmusu. And then Sarah Emmy Bridcut as Tissalia. She was known as the character Bitch from Shield Hero. That's accurate. That's her name. Unknown episode count, and then starts July 12th.
Cool. The next one is Kanojo Okarishimasu. I guess, because anyways, yeah. So this one is called Rent a Girlfriend on Crunchyroll. It's also listed as ecchi comedy. The synopsis here is, in today's Japan, rental services can deliver an afternoon with a friend, a parent, or even a fake girlfriend. After being betrayed by his girlfriend, freshman Kazuya is desperate and tries it. He discovers how complicated it can be to rent an emotional connection. His new girlfriend is also trying to keep her side hustle secret and panics when she finds out her real life and Kazuya's are intertwined in surprising ways. Family, school, and life all start to go wrong too. This one is done by TMS Entertainment. I watched the trailer on this one. It's not anywhere near ecchi like the Peter Grill one. There were no god rays. It looked like ecchi in essence was just like swimsuit fan service. But after watching this one, I actually think I'll give it a 3-episode rule, because it looked like it'll be like not super funny, but it looks like it had some pretty good laughs. And it might a few of the moments looked like they were kind of cute too, so it might have some substance to it. So I'll check it out. But this one airs July 10th, episode 1 of 12, and I don't know where you can watch it.
That's the one Mark's hyped about, because he reads that manga. I've only read the first few chapters of it, so I have an idea how it's like. I don't like the main character, but Mark says he gets better. But
we'll see.
Well, we'll see. Yeah,
maybe the anime is better.
Cool. We'll definitely find out. The next show I have is Koi to producer Evol Cross Love. Stories about a girl who inherits a production company from her father that is almost bankrupt. She then goes on to meet 4 boys, each with a unique background and power to help her turn the company around. Studio is Mappa. Some notable VAs are Ono Yuki, Louis from Beastars, and Josuke from JoJo. Sugita Tomokazu Gintoki from Gintama, and the Lizard Man from Goblin Slayer.
Lizard Man.
This looks not interesting to me. It's like kind of like female harem with these 4 dudes who, like, one's like a cop, one's like a detective, or like they all have like unique backgrounds and stuff, but it looks not interesting. Even though it's Mappa, I'm probably going to pass because the concept seems, I don't know, not that great to me. But if you are interested, it airs on July 16th.
Very cool.
I got another non-interesting one for you here. It's called Get Up, Get Live. Synopsis: chibi shorts of the VA X2D entertainer project Get Up, Get Live.
Get up.
The project's story centers on aspiring comedian entertainers who all gather at SSS, a talent agency for comedians. There's not enough S's there.
Oh, shit.
The story portrays the friction and jealousy in their rivaling careers, as well as their admiration towards industry veterans, their disappointments, and the obstacles to their success as they aspire to become the greatest entertainers in Japan and the world.
Wow.
The world.
The whole world.
Wow. Thank you, Anime News Network, for that one. No trailer. My opinion doesn't look interesting, but I might give, 1 or 2 of them a shot since they're short. The studio is Spellbound. Notable VAs, we've got Natsuki Hanae as Junya Uehara. He's Arima Kosei from Your Lie in April, and Sakishima Hikari from Nagiasu. He's also Takumi Aldini from Shokugeki.
Mezzaluna.
And he's Drew's favorite Tomaruin in Kakushigoto.
Yeah.
Unknown episode shorts, or unknown episode count. They're shorts, and then it starts July 11th.
Very cool.
Excellent.
So next one, Great Pretender. This is an action comedy. I'm actually really hyped about this one. So anyways, the synopsis: only bads are our targets, as well as to trick you, deceive you, cheat all fortunes of you. You can hear our stories in LA, Singapore, London, Shanghai, and Tokyo. Why? Our con game stage is the whole world. Edamura Makoto is supposedly Japan's greatest swindler. Together with his partner Kudo, they try to trick a Frenchman in Asakusa, I think that's how you say it, but unexpectedly get tricked instead. The Frenchman whom they try to swindle turns out to be the Laurent Theory, a much higher level confidence man in control of the mafia. Edamura is yet to find out what fate awaits him after having engaged in the Frenchman's dirty jobs. This one's done by Wit Studio. And I tell you, you have to watch the trailer. The jazz in it is like crazy. Smoking. It's so dope. The trailer, it's got like the whole feel of kind of the wildness of this synopsis. It just looks like it'll be fun to watch. And like I said, the music alone was like ripping jazz, like crazy, like Coltrane or something. I don't know. It was dope. It was cool.
You got me hyped for this one.
Yeah. So this one, actually, you can watch all of it on Netflix. It released June 2nd, all 23 episodes. So it's already completely out.
Wait, they released all of it? We had this in the news before. They said they were going to release it in spurts.
They didn't. Not according to AniChart. It said all 23 episodes aired on June 2nd on Netflix. So
that's all right. They changed their mind, I guess.
Beautiful.
Yeah, maybe they were like, hey, everything got delayed. Just get it out there and make the people happy.
That's right. Cool. You got me hyped for that one. So maybe I'll check it out. Give it 3 episodes and you can figure out if I want to binge the whole thing, because it sounds like it's all out there. Yep. This next show sounds like a super generic show that may or may not be interesting. The summary: the main character is a boring, basically boring slice of life harem protagonist. His kohai wants to mess with him. Can this turn into a relationship? The trailer is very ecchi. It is a comedy ecchi series done by Studio NG. I don't know what to think about this. It's probably a show that I'll like, but it's like on the borderline of being too ecchi. So give it a couple episodes, see how it does. Some notable VAs: Naomi Ozura, she's Satanya from Gabriel Dropout. Chihiro, is it Cherry or Chihiri from Idolmaster Cinderella Girls? Cherry, maybe. Next one, Kenji Akabane. the producer from Idolmaster, so our favorite producer son, and Ayana Taketatsu, Nino from Quince, Koneko from DxD, and several other roles. So it airs July 10th. I will probably give it 3 episodes. Like I said, if it goes down the road of being like way too ecchi, it might get the old drop. So.
Wait, so you're saying Taketatsu Ayane is playing a tsundere character, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
More than likely.
You said it's harem and she's in it, so.
Yeah. Next one for you, Rolando.
We've got Chofutsu Toshikashi wa Densetsu R. So this is a surreal gag anime about female junior high school students who, along with mysterious creatures, attend a junior high school set in the real Kashiwa town, together loosely conveying the charm of Kashiwa with content related to the town and its events. So this is like literally, I don't know if you would call this an anime, but it's like a motion comic, and then like they put, like stills of like backgrounds of this actual town. There's been like a big whole thing on promoting different areas of Japan for tourism, and so the way they get
Is it like a puppet show?
no,
Like
it's
the
like it's just like characters will be there and like they kind of like they like move
hop
them like
around,
this,
like if
and then
someone
their
were holding
mouths
a
move.
stick. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Robot Chicken.
no, Robot
not
Chicken
clay.
actually is animated.
Not claymation.
But yeah, this one, or there have been a lot of shows that try and do this, promote tourism, different areas of Japan that don't have a lot of visitors. And
Yeah,
so,
Quest.
Sakura Quest, you got Zombieland Saga, Love Live, Sunshine, just to name a few. I can link the trailer, but I don't think anyone, I actually feel that linking the trailer is going to make people not want to watch it. But I'll put it in chat anyways. My opinion is I couldn't finish the trailer because it made me just want to just turn it off. It was only like a minute and a half and I just had to stop watching it.
Yeah.
It's not really something I'd call an anime, but maybe the comedy is good, but I think I'm going to pass. Studio is Super Normal Studio, and the only other thing they have done are the OVAs for this. So yeah,
Okay.
Notable VAs. They all look like newcomers, and there's a bunch of missing information on their on the pages. 10 episode short, or their shorts, starts July 6th.
Cool.
All right.
Alec.
I have the next one, Gibiate, I don't know. In 2030 Japan, a virus has infected humans throughout the world. Infected people turn into different forms of monsters based on their ages, sexes, and races. The virus is named Gibia after being rich in variety, like Gibia. I don't know. But just
Gibia
then,
30.
Gibia 30? What? I have no idea. But all right, just then a pair of samurai and ninja appeared in such a blighted wasteland of Japan. They both traveled from the early Edo period, fighting together with help from a doctor who tries to find a cure, facing ceaseless attacks and out from the Jibias and outlaws that attack travelers for food. They start the dangerous journey with enemies all around. This is done by L.A. Unchbox. The art looked kind of cool. The CG, there was one quick flash of it in the trailer. It looked god awful. And all in all, the trailer was actually pretty bad to watch. I don't really know what was going on, and it made me want to watch it less than the synopsis did. So I am not going to be watching it. It just doesn't interest me whatsoever. So, releases July 15th, episode 1, and it looks like it's a Crunchyroll exclusive.
Cool.
Potentially. Maybe. Yep.
Very good. The next one I kind of hyped up a little bit earlier, but it is Dokyu Hentai HX Eros or H Heroes. I don't know how you're supposed to say it.
Zeros.
Get this one, guys. Aliens who feed off of human sexual energy are invading Earth, and these heroes have to fight against them.
Oh my god.
That is the premise of this show.
So they just have to be completely anti-sexual, so they get no energy.
No, there's a lot of sex going on in this,
You think it would
so
be
I highly
completely
encourage if you're into that watching the preview. But this is done by Project Number 9. Some notable VAs here. They actually have like a good built cast. It's like Kayano, who is Mocha from Rabbit Cafe, and Nana from my favorite show, Golden Time. You have Yotsusugu Matsuyoka, who is Futuro from Quince, and Belle from Danmachi. And you also have Yuka Kuwari, who is Taru from Dragon Maid. So actually kind of have like and there's some others, maybe a little bit more newcomer, but some
Wasn't this already like an anime before? I feel like there was another anime that had this exact premise.
Probably.
Was it what was the name of that show?
It was the one where the animation.
Arufuera?
No, but the animation was pretty bad, and I think Mark and I were talking about this one time.
The Twin Tails anime?
No. That also had bad animation, but no, this one this one was like a shitty Infinite Stratos.
Mm-hmm. That's what this sounds like it's gonna be. It's like those like Infinite Stratos Date Alive, but like even worse.
Even worse. Yeah, it's just degeneracy.
And I'm going to watch it because it is going to be a shit show. Like I have no doubt that this show will be like a train wreck. So I'm gonna jump in.
I'll watch it with a beer.
Pull it for us, and yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But this one airs July 4th, so we'll start this train wreck this week.
Nice, with a beer in hand.
That's right.
July 4th, official shower beer day.
There you go. Rolando, next show, please.
The rest of mine are leftovers.
Okay.
I got a new one I could do. Ninja
do it.
Collection. It's a horror genre. It's the new Ninja Collection anime will retain the urban legend and horror elements, but will center on the Tokeshu Ninja Group in Tokyo, the city where dreams and desires swirl like eddies in a river. With ancient techniques passed down through generations, the ninja are intent on wiping out the darkness enveloping people in the current Reiwa era. There was no trailer. This is done by ILCA, Drawwiz, TIA. Apparently,
Who comes up with the names of these studios?
I have no idea. But apparently this is a spin-off of the Yami Shibai show, which is Japanese ghost stories. And then it looks like they're going to keep the essence of the show by having it kind of focus on urban legends and horror elements, but instead of having it be like sit around a campfire, tell ghost stories, they're going to focus on this one ninja group. So I have no opinion. I've never seen the other show. It looks like if you like the other show, I could see it going one way or the other. Either you like it and you don't like this new spinoff, or you think it's cool that they're focusing on a different element of the original show. So I think it could go either way if you're an enthusiastic viewer. Episode 1 releases July 2020, no day or time, and then where, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Sounds interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
Although Japan's not very good at doing horror in anime.
All right, I got a couple more here. Next one is Lapis Relights. It's an idol show, but the difference between this idol show is it's going to blend fantasy, magical girl, and idol elements. So the girls are going to be singing and dancing and becoming idols with fantasy and magical girl powers.
Isn't that just Precure?
Yes.
Yes. Nice.
This is done by Yokohama Animation Lab. They are all new VAs except for one. And can you guess the one that they got to lead? I don't even know if she's the leader, but to lead them in real life.
Who?
The goddess.
Oh, really?
Hanazawa Kana. She's the only like known VA in this,
carrying
which I thought it was kind of funny. But she's gonna probably carry the cast.
They spent their whole budget on just her.
They're like, all right, get newcomers. We don't have any budget for this.
We spent it all.
Opinion, another idol show. Probably won't. Maybe watch one episode just to see how the goddess is involved. But other than that, not too interesting for me. This one also airs on July 4th. So we wrapped up Rolando's. Alex, do you have another one? Or
I do, yeah. I've got one more. It's Mucal Dreamy. This is listed as an adventure fantasy. The story begins when a middle school girl named Yume sees something fall from the sky and meets a pale violet-colored kitten named Mew. It turns out that Mew has the power of Yume Synchro, Dream Synchro, the power to enter dreams. In the dream world, the girl and Mew collect dream stones. This is done by JC Staff. My opinion here, not interested. It gave me a very Care Bears-y vibe, like children's show. Like the thing lands and like kind of falls, but it's like doop doop doop, hello there, and it talked in like this very like adult slow
Barney voice.
Like not even like the voice, but it was just like very methodically slow, as if they were trying to talk to children as a like kindergarten teacher. So I think it's just a children's show. If that didn't sell you enough that I don't want to watch it, the episode 10 airs July 4th, so there's been 9 already, and it's episode 10 of 48. Yes, 48.
Oh, I thought you were
episodes.
gonna say that if that didn't prove to you that you don't want to watch it, you're gonna say it's done by JC Staff.
Yeah, well, there's that. But it is episode 10 of 48 coming out on July 4th, and I have no idea where to watch it. So if you want a kids show, it looks like a children's show, honestly though.
Fair
The
enough.
art is pretty good. They drew it pretty well in the trailer.
Alec, I think you'll be excited for this one. I don't even know if you know that this is happening, but the next show that I have is Umayan. It is a short format slice of life focusing on the characters from Pretty Derby. So your horse girls are coming back.
My horse girls are coming back.
We got 5 minutes shorts done by WToon Studio in collaboration with DMM FutureWorks. Some notable VAs. A lot of them are coming back from the original Pretty Derby.
Nice.
So we have Azumi Waki, who's also Micah from Blend S. We got Minami Takahashi, who is Elf Yamada Sensei from Eromanga Sensei, and Quetzalcoatl from Dragon Maid, and Akiri Kito, who is Kaho from Blend S. So the Blend S girls are coming back for this one. I didn't watch Pretty Derby, so I will probably not watch this. But I think Alec, you may jump into the short formats. They're just doing cute shit. Same characters. So if you want more Pretty Derby, this show is for you. This airs on July 7th.
That sounds dope.
Yeah.
To me.
So I think that wraps it up, gentlemen, for the summer 2020 shows. There's a lot of carryover things that we didn't include here. But if you need more or trying to figure out what to watch, check out the Annie Chart. Has just about everything that you need for the summer 2020 animes. So be sure to check that out. I think what we'll end up doing, and guys, tell me if you disagree with this, maybe during the week this week, we'll talk about maybe nominating some shows for our 3-episode rule. Maybe everybody picks a couple and we'll kind of decide, and then make sure we watch those, and we'll start talking about them because a lot of them air either this week or next week. So we'll start that up in the next couple weeks here. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. So to wrap up this show, let's talk about the season 2 finale of Kaguya. Thank you, Chica. Appreciate it as always. I'm just going to tell you guys how I felt about it. You can totally tell me if I'm off base with this, but this is how I genuinely feel. I felt like the season ended off in a really awkward spot. And the reason why, so like we talked about how the first 3 episodes probably didn't need to exist. There was a lot of gags jumping back and forth between like 15 minutes of this, 5 minutes of this, 5 minutes of that, show ends. That's how this kind of felt for me. I wish they would have kind of switched up the format a little, maybe done like the balloon popping scene first and then done the phone, like the issues with the phone and getting the new phone, because I felt like it would have ended in a better spot, whereas like we kind of just get a recap of the season and people are blowing bubbles and stuff's blowing up. It's like not that interesting to me, to be honest. But I don't know. It ended, the season ended with more gags, and it felt like it stopped in a really awkward spot. The only really character development that we got this season was, while it was excellent, and I don't think this should detract from the show at all, but we only really learned a little bit more about Ishigami, a little bit from Ino as well. But in terms of like development for the main characters, I felt like an oversight, at least to me. Maybe now that we have all the characters introduced, next season will give us a little bit more in terms of Shirogane and Kaguya. But that's just kind of how I felt about it. You guys are feel free to disagree with me, but I don't know. It just felt like it ended in an awkward spot.
Well, I'm gonna disagree. I actually really enjoyed the final episode, and the reason why is because despite how the beginning of the season started and like it was like kind of slow and like this sort of very like prolonged pace going through the student council arc, it just felt like that was filler for the most part, because there were a lot of like different random chapters that happened during that arc in between. But there's not really much they can do with one last episode in here, but I feel like doing this kind of episode fits the show, because at heart the show is really about like the crazy like intense moments that they just build up. Like the whole balloon thing was hilarious, because it's like, why the fuck is this so intense, and like, but like it's hilarious. And so I think the ending it this way with like, they start with Kaguya's phone thing and we get, you know, some of the like the heartfelt nature of that, and then we go just into gags, just like it feels like Kaguya. Like it just feels like the type of show that it is. Like we get, on one side we get some, you know, emotional character development, and on the other hand we get some just like crazy like batshit crazy antics. And I think that fits the mold of the show, and ending it there instead of being a huge cliffhanger is beneficial, because I don't really think they could do anything else in that way.
I just wish they would have like flipped the order. I wish we would have done maybe gags first and then had like the heartfelt moment with Kaguya, because I don't know, the issue that I had with season 1 was like, especially in the beginning, you know, the gags felt totally disjointed and it wasn't that funny to me. This balloon popping scene kind of fell right back into that, where it's like not that funny, at least to me. And I enjoy more of like the story of and like the world that they're building and things and the characters within it, where you don't really get that from like these gags and stuff, where like, you know, it's kind of funny, it's kind of enjoyable. I get the most enjoyment out of Kaguya based on the world, based on, you know, what they're doing and how their relationships are evolving and stuff. So maybe I'm thinking about the show in the wrong way, which, you know, is fine. But I don't know, the gags to me just aren't that funny. I crave more development, but I also accept that that's the kind of show it is. It's a comedy kind of gag every once in a while, and then, you know, they'll move through the story. So maybe too, it's just, you know, I'm not a manga reader either, and so I'm like expecting something different. So that might have something to do with it as well. But Alec, are you gonna catch up now that it's done?
Yeah.
He's gonna binge all of it.
A binge
right after
show
this.
for you.
He's just gonna go all.
I'm actually gonna finish
all 12
that
episodes.
And Namio Kitakure.
Kitakure.
And then I gotta catch up on Haikyuu too. And I'm off until Monday,
Sorry.
so
You have a
this
whole
weekend.
season to catch up on Haikyuu.
Yeah, what, like 4 episodes or something?
Well, no, it was the second half of season 4 was supposed to start this season.
Delayed.
And it got delayed to fall.
Delayed. Sad for our volleyball boys, but it is what it is. Anything else to add, Rolando? You're free to call me an idiot for not liking it.
You idiot.
Idiot.
No, I mean, I had my qualms with this season. I feel like once they got past that, the season was very good. And it, I wouldn't give it I wouldn't give it a perfect score. I would maybe give it like minus the first few episodes being kind of like, all right, well, like, let's, you know, either make this an OVA or like, you know, condense things. Like I want to give it a 9, but that's just like, I feel like at least my experience with everything after the student council arc like was very good, and it's just the student council arc was too long and they just needed to condense it down, because there were good stuff there were good episodes in there, It's just there's too much filler that needed to be condensed down, in my opinion. But I thought the overall quality of the season was still very high.
I agree.
Yeah. Coming from a manga reader's perspective.
Yeah. And I think I say it every week too. It's like we hold this show to, I think, like a higher standard, just because it's like one of the top tier shows I think we've seen in a long time. So we can get a little nitpicky with it maybe when it doesn't deserve it as much, but I don't know. Overall, it's a super excellent show. So definitely highly recommend it. I think everybody here would highly recommend the show. So
super excellent.
Jump into it if you can. Hopefully season 3, maybe we get an announcement for that soon. Maybe.
Yeah, we still haven't gotten through. I mean, we're only like halfway through the manga, so we got a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff to go. So very cool. All right. With that, I think that kind of wraps up this week's episode, unless anybody's got anything else to add, any announcements or anything like that. I did want to mention we are currently rewatching Clannad. So if you're interested in watching Clannad with us, we'll actually be doing it tomorrow, Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. I think we're going to start at 7 or try to start at 7.
Yeah.
So tune in, join our Discord, animeondraft.com/Discord. Type that in and get your link. Jump into the Discord and watch with us. We'll be hanging out in chat if you want to jump in there as well. We missed last week due to some unforeseen circumstances, but we're going to get back on track. I believe, what are we on, 18 and 19?
17 and 18.
17 and 18.
Yeah.
So we're working our way through it. So check out our Discord again, animeondraft.com/Discord. Also going to let you guys know all the rest of our social and website info. So our website is animeondraft.com. Head there to, it's kind of like the hub for just about everything Anime on Draft. You can check out all the different links. You can listen to the podcast, all that good stuff. So the main source of info of power, animeondraft.com. Twitter at animeondraft. Tweet at us or follow us to get updates on the show. Also, check out maybe what we're drinking for the week, different things like that. So at animeondraft on Twitter. Instagram for photos of the beer and some other random hijinks. Anime on Draft podcast. Check that out on Instagram. You can also find us anywhere where podcast services are located. Just search for Anime on Draft. So that's Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that good stuff. Just search for Anime on Draft. We also stream live on Twitch. If you're catching us now, thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit that follow button. We are twitch.tv/Anime on Draft. Turn notifications on to let you know when we go live. Currently, we are trying to stream on Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. Sometimes we get pushed to Tuesdays or Wednesdays, but most consistently, we are found on Mondays at 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. We may actually be starting a little bit earlier next week forward, so maybe around 6:30. So be on the lookout for that. Again, turn on those notifications, follow us, and you'll get all those notifications when we go live. If you have any topics or anything you'd like to speak about, email us at contact@animeondraft.com or use our contact page on our website, which is again animeondraft.com. Again, that's kind of our central hub for that. And if you're listening to us on any of the different services, go ahead and give us a rating. If you enjoy what we're doing, give us a nice 5-star rating. Kind of lets us know that we're doing a good job. Also helps for our visibility, so we would definitely appreciate that. With that said, this has been episode 157. We are some Truly boys. Mine is totally empty. It was an excellent, refreshing drink on a somewhat lukewarm day. Alec is crushing them over there.
He's crushing too.
It's not a lukewarm
but yeah,
day.
we got anything left, guys? This was a fabulous Max episode. And
How did you know I was gonna press that with the fucking?
I knew you were waiting for it.
He saw
I knew you were
it.
waiting for it.
He saw it.
But this has been a good one, guys, and we'll see you next week. Catch you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.